Yeah, it depends how you're structured. One of the things we look at with our clients when we have an initial conversation is like, what is your structure? Because it boils down to your tax situation. Depends on if you have outside equity or you have investors or you have partners.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Hey, we're already in the second week of December. The year is almost gone. If you haven't started thinking about your taxes, well, you're late to the game, but you better start now. And the person you're about to hear from, Chase Insogna, can help you do just that. Chase, great to have you on the show. First-time guest. So getting to the end of the year, what can you do right now? 3 things that will save you taxes, even though you're at the end of the year here.
Well, one, if you don't have a CPA, certainly get one. 2, if you're looking to make any big purchases, in Q1, Q2 next year, you may want to consider making those for Section 179 deduction or, bonus depreciation. And then 3, if there's any stock sales you need to make to cover gains, on high portfolios, it's something you might want to look at too, just to offset any long-term or short-term gains you have.
Okay, I'll buy that. Well, hey, you didn't have to think too hard. I'll bet you could think of 3 more, couldn't you?
If you need me to, I can keep going down the list there.
Yeah, give us 2 more, okay? I don't want to tax your brain too much.
Certainly, just from a basic level, we have a lot of conversations. People don't even have LLC set up right now. So, looking at doing an LLC S Corp, if you're kind of one owner consultant, been making a bunch of money this year, or you have an existing LLC, and you heard about an S Corp election, but you're not sure if it applies to you. That's what we mainly focus on here, is maximizing S Corp election and tax savings. So those are a couple things I would recommend looking at if you haven't already.
All right. Well, I'll buy it. So, hey, from your standpoint, you're working with business owners. What do you think the 3 most common things they do wrong? Besides not hiring a CPA?
Well, that'd be number 1. Number 2, just having clean books. We're more proactive with our clients, so we're trying to look into December 31st and not waiting till March to get your books and then file a return. Being reactive to things. So with our clients on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, we're making sure their books are cleaned up, data entered every 3 business days, reconciled at the end of the month. And we use that for taxes and tax planning. So when it comes down to like S Corp ownership, are you paying yourself a reasonable salary? Is it more than it needs to be? We have like an S Corp test to figure that out. And then retirement savings, I'm very big on trying to save while you're building your business, and just putting something away. So at the end of the rope, you have something to fall back on. Because I think Forbes says like 85% of businesses actually never sell. So, a lot of people shouldn't continue building wealth while they're building their business. And so that's a big thing we try to push here, is just contribute something. But those are the things we're looking at, paying your kids, paying your spouse, kind of things. Year end, certainly right now, like immediately, but we try to be more proactive throughout the year with our clients. And that's why we keep track of the data to make sure we're on track for things.
Sure. Hey, so how's that work when you pay your kids?
Our minimum age is kind of 5, unless you have like a marketing reason for it. But 5-year-olds can, at least clean the office, without hand holding, hopefully. But have a job description. You want to pay them regularly. It doesn't really look, kosher when you're just paying them a lump sum amount every December for the IRS if you ever get audited. So, working through the summertime and then in the winter when they're off would be ideal. But we recommend contributing that money to a child Roth IRA. So it's growing tax-free for the purpose of education, medical expenses, purchase of a first home, retirement. They're going to have one of those four. If you're already doing a 529 plan and you own a business, it makes sense to pay your kids and max out the Roth first and then go back to the 529 because you get a bit of a deduction. Obviously, there's a little bit of FICA tax cost to it, but it allows to grow tax-free over the course of their life. So they're 18, and some people don't decide to go to college. They can do what they want with the money. Again, medical expenses, purchase of a first home, keep it for retirement. Those things like 529, you might get taxed on that money if you don't use it for education. So that's one of the kind of things we recommend for kids when we're doing Q4 tax planning and maxing that out for clients.
Okay. And what's the maximum you can pay your kid? For
I believe it's like 12 or 14,000 somewhere around there. But we don't. If you're an S Corp, we don't recommend paying them that much. We're only trying to net out $6,500 this year to contribute to the Roth. Otherwise, you're just wasting FICA taxes. If you're a sole proprietor and you're maxing that out, then you probably shouldn't be a sole proprietor, and you probably should consider S Corp when you look at your entire tax situation.
Okay, all right, I like it. All right, you're giving us a lot to chew on there. All right, as far as it's never too early to start planning for next year, right? What are some things you should be thinking about for next year?
Certainly being more organized. Like I said, we try to be proactive with our clients. So if you don't already have someone, helping with your accounting and, you have making $200,000-300,000 in revenue plus, we certainly recommend doing some ongoing accounting. And, I don't know. What are you looking for next year?
You're giving us enough there. All right. I kind of threw that one at you. We appreciate it. Hey, so I guess in concluding here, I saw an article recently. It said 96% of people, and I guess that would include businesses, because under the Supreme Court's definition, a business is a legal, a fictitious person, right? They pay more taxes than they should. Do you think that's accurate?
It depends how you're structured. One of the things we look at with our clients when we have an initial conversation, like, what is your structure? Because it, boils down to your tax situation. Depends on, if you have outside equity or you have investors or you have partners, what is the split? A lot of people do like husband and wife ownership in an S Corp, which unless you have a prenup in a community property state like we're in Texas, doesn't make sense. Unless you're trying to do like woman-owned business or something. But, because you're having to waste FICA tax and paying both of you versus one of you.
Right.
So it really boils down to, structure, and that's one of the things we look at initially.
Okay. So it's never too early to start planning. Hey, Chase, people want to find out more about you, connect with you on the web, and perhaps even hire you. How do you do that?
Yeah, please reach out to us, InsognaCPA.com. It's INSOGNA CPA.com. And fill out the contact us form. We'll get somebody to you as quickly as possible. We have, we usually call people back the same day or, respond back by email the same day. So business day. But, we have a team here of 22 people currently. So not me doing all the work, but, we're happy to help from an accounting tax perspective and be more proactive with your tax planning going forward.
All right. Appreciate that. If you got a question for Chase, myself, you can always shoot me an email, and the link to Chase's site will be in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Just click it. Chase, appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.